So, on December the 12th, I received a correspondence from YouTube in which it talks about how my year as a creator went. Essentially, it takes analytics, provides some kind of report. And I thought that I would do this because I don't think I've ever done something like this before. I remember showing you guys certain analytics buttons that legit confused me a little bit because I'm absolutely not a reader. I don't have like a business eye for this thing. I just thought for any of you guys who don't create content and you might have been curious about this type of thing, I thought I would share with you my experience with YouTube. This says that I have been a member since 2012, which is fake news because my very first ever YouTube account that I can think of, I want to say it might go back to 2006, but it might have been linked to an email that I lost access to because I legit was learning how to use computers a little better when it came to creating accounts and stuff like that, I think. But my official original I actually uploaded things to, it goes back to August of 2008. Unfortunately, because it's one of those legacy accounts, I forgot the password to it. I haven't signed into it since 2013. And what's sad is that one has over 8,000 subscribers and it has over 1 million total views. But at the same time, I'm glad that I don't have access to it anymore because the kind of content that I was uploading there, it wasn't really original stuff. It was more about, oh, I'm listening to this thing. I like what I'm hearing. I'm going to take it and sort of re-upload it for myself because I didn't really understand how to save things. All I knew how to do was save it on my computer and then be like, let me re-upload. And then eventually I got that notification on that account back in 2012 to join the YouTube Partner Program, YPP. And then I thought, why? This isn't my stuff. This isn't my content. There's no way that I can monetize this when it isn't my original creation. For that account, I received an email from YouTube in which they're saying that it's going to be deleted because I haven't signed into it. And I tried signing into it to delete all of its content back in maybe 2015, 2016, and that's when I ran into the issue of this is a legacy account. And then I said, well, fuck me, I guess I'm gonna have to start a new one. So that's what I ended up doing. And sometimes I get notifications of comments appearing under that account and I'm like, so long, good riddance. I don't get to reply, and I'm not going to use my current account to go in there and reply, oh, I am actually the owner of this account, because I don't care. This is a channel that does nothing for me now. But I thought I would let you guys know that there is an original account. This is like my secondary that became my primary. So just a little bit of Zam history. This one, I've been a member since 2012, and I totally remember that. I think I started it on December 2012. Congratulations on a fantastic 2023 on YouTube. Here's a look back on how you have grown as a creator. Share your biggest highlights with all of your fans on Shorts. I'm not gonna do that. But it says celebrate, snap, and share. So I guess I could take that. I guess screen capture it, turn it into a short, and then show you guys. But I would rather do a long form video instead because I like to talk. That's why I do this. I apparently have 166 subscribers. And I'm not sure if that is about 166 people pressed the subscribe button. And after that, they could have unsubbed, but it still counted because I have been bleeding subscribers over the last few weeks. Like sometimes I'll sign in and look at the page. I can't help but notice it because when you launch the Studio app, it shows you the number of subscribers. And at some point I lost like 8 people in one day, and then I gained 1, and then I went days without any changes, and then I was just losing 1, losing 3, losing 5, losing 2, gaining 1, gaining 2. I'm like, it's interesting. It makes me wonder what makes you guys subscribe in the first place, and if the people unsubbing had been subbed for a while, but then I don't know, they saw something they didn't like and then unsubbed, or just what makes people behave that way. Because me as a YouTube user, what I tend to do is I have been commenting a lot on videos lately because there are some comments that I legit find fun, and I occasionally activate my troll gene and I leave a stupid comment, and then some people start commenting on it, and sometimes I don't even read the replies to it. I'll see the notification via email. Oh, okay, I don't have time for that. I don't have time for that. I like to read comments when I actually have the time to engage. And then there were some people mad at me on some short that I left a comment. It had to do with how ropes are made, I think. I made a comment about how those men's grip is probably the strongest ever. They have an all-natural gym going on. There was this clown saying something about, well, I hope you enjoy your likes, because the last time I checked, it was at 15,000. And I'm like, do you think I do this for the likes? You really think that when I posted that, I thought people were even gonna see it? Most of the time, the comments I post, they go unnoticed, and that's fine. But I guess you have this mindset of being popular or impactful that you cannot conceive a person being indifferent about that shit. If you do care about having your comment noticed, what you do is you reply to someone who already commented something and they have a little thread going on, and then everybody under that thread, depending on their notification settings, which most people love to have notifications on, they will get notifications, and maybe one of those clowns will engage with you. Me as an audience member, I tend to be the silent watcher, but in recent times I have been trying to engage a little more. So maybe some of the people I have engaged with end up getting curious about my channel and they check me out. I may, if it's relevant, reference the fact that under my channel I have content. I'm like, oh, it's funny that I'm watching this because I just posted about this and that. And maybe someone sees that and they get curious, and that's how they find me. And I say it like that because that's how I have found other people too. It's like, oh, okay, you have a channel about being a helicopter pilot? Cool, I'll check that out. But I'm not sure how the subscriber count works, because 166, I feel like it was a little less than that, but maybe it just counts whoever pushes the sub button, and if they undo it at some point, then it doesn't count that. I'm not sure. I really cannot tell you guys. I allegedly had 51,400-ish views. I uploaded 355 times, which feels crazy to me because I remember for a while I wasn't uploading. I was maybe doing once a week. Those weeks in which I could do 2 videos per day or 3 videos per day, kind of like what I have going on recently, where I wasn't able to upload yesterday, but I actually did record yesterday. I had 2 pending videos. I didn't get to upload them, but they're there, they're coming. Maybe that's how I caught up, and it almost looks like I have one video for 365 days. When it comes to my upload schedule, I film when I want to. I film when the inspiration is there, and the inspiration hits me daily very often. If I have something to say daily, why not record it? That is the whole point of this channel. This is a supplement and in some cases replacement of my journal. So yes, I will have something to talk about every day, and that's why some weeks ago I created that one video in which I said I will never understand what it's like to be a creator who runs out of ideas. There's so much to do out there. But I guess if you're doing this because you're actually a professional, then I can see how you would stress about addressing your niche, addressing your community. And I said to myself, I'm a free person. I'm the authentic type. So sometimes I'll be in the mood to talk about food. Sometimes I'll be in the mood to not talk and instead look at myself exercising. Other times I will want to talk trash. I will want to criticize. I will want to self-roast, whatever. I just like that. The reason I can do this for as long as I have and not get tired of it is because I 100% cater to myself. The original intention with this channel still remains true. And I'm not also stressing about, oh my God, is it bright enough? Oh my God, is my hair not like, no. I obtained 730 comments, which sounds and feels about right. And the reason I say it like that is because I feel like there were fewer comments than that. But I also gotta consider the fact that the comments I received, they kind of sleep until I approve them. And that's why I like the whole hold for approval, because of course I do want to manage my channel, but I do that more with the intention of making sure that I don't miss comments, because if they keep coming in, then the most recent one is the one that I'm going to see, and maybe it won't force me to scroll farther. Whereas if they're held for review, then I have to keep scrolling until I see that list caught up, which there's a part of me that's like, I might need to accept that maybe I won't catch up with comments at this point, but at least it's not like, oh my God, I'm getting 1,000 comments daily, something like that. Mine is more like, I may get about 5 or 8 comments per day. But since I go many weeks without visiting my comment section, then yeah, you can see how that can pile up. I received 2,382 likes, which you guys crack me up a little bit, because sometimes I just freshly posted a video and somehow it already has a like before it has a view. I don't understand how you can even do that. Maybe when an ad is playing, you're pressing the like button and that's when it captures it. But I'm thinking maybe I'm already falling prey to bots. But I like to believe that the people who watch me actually have to be real people. Is there such thing as a watch bot, you know, to give yourself views? If there is, then you guys let me know, because I have no idea. But I always find that adorable. I'm like, wow, someone out there is excited about what I just posted without even knowing the content. And other times, there are videos that go without interactions like that. And because I don't see the dislike ratio, is that even still a thing? Maybe some people out there do not hit the like button, but you do hit the dislike button, and instead maybe I have a video that's in the negatives, you know? It's totally possible. I was shared 235 times, which when I think about it, compared to how often I share a video, which is usually if something is funny, I may forward it to a friend or a family member, but I maybe do that twice a week, 3 times a week. So to know that someone out there for about, what, 2/3 of the year, they considered sharing me, I'm like, I'm flattered, but what are you doing? I cannot imagine my content being shareable content, because it's just a story about myself, and everything that I put here is revolving around me. So I don't expect for it to be seen as a tool. But I like that you guys seem to enjoy what I share. By enjoy, I mean you don't necessarily like it and love it or agree and are on my side entirely with everything that I say. But at the very least, you seem to value it enough to where you leave a comment, I'll come back to it, and then you may have a follow-up comment. And we converse, and that is my entire intention with this, because I know that in person, I'm never really motivated to talk to people very much, because I cannot always tell who I would be immediately tight with. If I'm going to make a social move with someone, I don't want to be wrong about, oh, I like to talk about spiritual things, but here you are, a non-spiritual person hearing me out on something spiritual. If you're not into spiritual stuff, then I don't want to waste your time. In the same manner that I don't want to waste my time sharing something with you that you ain't gonna relate to or be interested in. In person, because it's harder to judge that off the start, I gotta wait for the person to drop the hint via reference to it. But at least in the comment section, you guys who engage with something, by definition of you engaging with it, it lets me know that you are into it. And therefore, to me, this is a productive way of exchange. Although I'm always going to be a more in-person kind of socializer, I do like the kind of socializing that I get out of this. I'm in my room, I'm in my home, I'm in my space. I control the environment, it's not noisy. I control who hears me only you people who find me will hear me out. I don't need for everybody to know what I'm about in person. So like, this is great. And anybody over the years, I have had 5 people ask me if I think they should start a channel. I'm like, I encourage everybody to do what they want. If you're having the calling for it, if you feel inspired, just do it. I'll never forget how a friend of mine, who I don't even know in person, but I had known for a while, for about 4 years, back in 2016. Up until that point, it had been 4 years. I was telling him how I had the idea of, for some reason, I like the thought of me just talking, setting up a camera and talking, because talking is something I know I can do, but I'm just never inspired to do it in person. And he said, yeah, just start it, get it started, make it about you, whatever, you can do whatever, you're the artist there. It can be about anything, but be prepared that it's the internet, so A, B, C, and D can happen. And I'm like, I'm fine with that. I don't care. I don't mind. I know how to manage that stuff. The very first video that you guys should have access to, my oldest video, that is not my first video, but that should be visible to you guys. It's about me making that message for my best friend who inspired me to start the channel. And by inspiring, I mean I was timid about it because I thought I would be a terrible content creator because I'm not gonna be an overproducer. I'm not funny. I'm not over the top energetic, nothing like that. I just want to be me. But at the same time, the reason I want to be me is because I want to try a different form of journaling. I can go days without physically speaking, producing sound, and I know that I'm a quick thinker on paper, but could I actually project myself verbally? I know I can, but it has to be in a controlled setting, like at the job. Sure, I'll be prepared to engage there because I'm at the job. I know this place, I know the rules, I know the flow, but outside of that, I don't want to be that person who's like blocked mentally, lost. I don't have anything to say. I don't have anything to think. Like, I'm not a person. I'm a person of a million thoughts, but not a million audience members for what I'm thinking about. See what I mean? And just because I have all these million thoughts, it doesn't mean that I want to share them with my mom or share them with my manager, anything like that. It's, I produce, and here I'm just throwing the dart, and whoever finds this, great, good for you, you found it. If you guys ever wonder where the inspiration for my channel comes from, I always try to explain in the first minute or so. So today I was thinking about blah blah blah, I was at blah blah blah, and I saw blah blah blah. And the reason I say that is because sometimes I notice that people who create videos, okay, you make them, some people share where they got the idea from, but some don't. And I'm thinking, if there are people out there who struggle at finding video ideas, I want to prove to them that the inspiration is everywhere if you open your mind. I'm not trying to say that I'm here to prove that. I'm just letting you know that if you're stuck, I think it's because you want to. And you need to lift those mental barriers. I've never been like, damn, I have nothing to talk about, I have nothing to say. I would love to show you guys the clipboard of pending videos that I have. It's under my notes app on my phone, but I don't want to spoil anything. But just to give you an idea, this is how far it goes. This has been a collection of ideas over the years. See what I mean? It just goes on and 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 on. Inspiration is everywhere. Or sometimes what I do is I'll save a link to an article or a video and then revisit it and be like, right, there was something I had to say about that. My top video for this year, which I could tell was gonna be it, was the Living Without a Family at 195 hours watched. I remember exactly where I was, and that was around, it was either 2016 or 2017. I remember exactly what I was feeling and how I was feeling at the time. And honestly, my life has not changed very much since I did that. But when it comes to my emotional state, some of those issues that I expressed still exist, still persist, and they probably will for the rest of my life. But the difference between me from back then versus me now is that, like I have said before, I was letting the stuff that I talked about on that video define me. But now I'm comfortable living with those things that I described. And to tell you the truth, I don't even completely remember what I said in that video. I just remember expressing that I don't talk to my family, I'm alone during the holidays, I'm alone in the daytime, and little things like that. But the actual meat of the video, shit, I forgot. And that's the whole point of this. Like, what I felt yesterday, today, may be different because it is a new day. It is a new year. It is a new time. And then the top short was the video of Dusty being picked by a male human. 127 likes. Which is interesting that it had that many likes because I think the views on that was it 5,000? The men video, World Without Men video, I think that's the one that's close to 200,000 views, or it did hit 250,000. Was it 250,000 views? I was shitting myself when that video did that well because I thought, oh my god, I did not want to go viral, but this video is threatening to go viral and I do not need it to get viral. But given the landscape at the time, I know that that discussion of feminists that are toxic or something was happening. And as a content creator, I was oblivious to that, and I'm guessing the algorithm picked up on that. I just remember that there were a lot of videos being made about that type of thing, especially in college settings. That was being criticized at the time, how you gotta express yourself differently and inclusivity and all that. And I guess this was one of those videos in which I remember that I lost power. And I was describing how I can't believe that people trash on men like that. And I'm just grateful that there's people out there qualified to restore the thing that I depend on for my comfort and subsistence. And I also said how, because I think that way, I have issues making friends with females because I don't tend to be very popular with them. I don't share their values very often. Something like that. Again, it's one of those things that it's been so many years since I replayed that video. After I edit it and I upload it, I never watch it again. I remember exactly where I was at, what was happening that day, what the temperature was like, and I also remember how it was kind of blowing up. But ultimately, I'm just happy that that video taught me that unfortunately, people are not going to do their homework. You guys were making a lot of assumptions about me based on, how long is that video? 6 minutes long, 7 minutes long? And I'm like, you're not going to ask me about how I arrived at those conclusions. You're not going to focus on the fact that this was more of me rambling about, holy shit, I take something for granted, and I'm glad that someone is out there to restore what I take for granted. I guess some people just really liked the fact, and by like, I mean that I fed into people's desire to want to fight over something. And I guess my mistake was throwing in there the comment about how I don't get along with women. And from that, people were having a party about, oh, you see, women bad, and this and that. And then people were calling me misogynistic or saying that I'm not going to make a video about women. And I'm like, yeah. I will make a video about World Without Women, because don't you think that there should be one that immediately contrasts this video? I can make a comparison between what the world is like without men, what the world would be like without women. But you guys were so saturated with hearing women talk trash about men that for a second, when a girl was saying something positive about men, you all were losing your minds. And to me, that was just so fucking gross, because it taught me the way that the internet can become toxic. And as a content creator, I guess your responsibility is to, I guess, be mindful of what you say, but do not obsess over controlling a narrative. That's something that I have learned, because I can sit here and explain to you guys all of the nuances And there's still going to be a clown out there who's going to find a way to twist something or be like, well, you haven't mentioned this, therefore, since you're not mentioning it, that means that you must believe on this and that. And I'm like, how do you know that I didn't think about that before and I already don't have a video about that? Have you seen how many thousands of videos I have? Name a topic. More than likely at this point, I have either touched up on it or completely covered it. And guess what? My intention with this channel is there may be some topics that eventually are going to become repeats, because it is possible to experience a similar topic but with a different set of circumstances. Yesterday, I can tell you guys the story of the new problem that I had with one of my coworkers, or rather the new problem that one of my coworkers had with me. You can see it as a problem, you may not see it as a problem. I saw it as a problem in development that didn't have to happen. But just because I have had negative experiences with coworkers doesn't mean I won't have any positive ones. If you ever start doing this, if you ever start creating videos, especially videos that revolve around people, if you do something like cooking and art, then you're pretty much safe. But if you're ever dealing with like social elements, be prepared for that shit and don't stress over how people take it. I saw some comment about someone telling me how there's a difference between constructive criticism and criticism by shaming. The shaming criticism never helps someone grow. And I'm like, well, I'm here to tell you that I was forged by shameful criticism as well as constructive criticism. Therefore, maybe that's why I'm just built differently, and the shit that other people may find offensive simply does not affect me the same way. Unfortunately, the problem with doing this type of thing, this type of content, is that people have like a preconceived opinion of what they believe people should be. And I'm here saying, look, the things that I talk about are the things that I believe based on my traits, my character, my persona, my perception. This is the stuff that I find rude. This is the stuff I find frustrating. This is the stuff that lights my ass on fire. This is the stuff that has the potential of offending me. This is the stuff that hurt me. This is the stuff that traumatized me. You cannot make me responsible of what virtues are. I'm not presenting myself out here like I'm a perfect person. I do troll. I have emotionally abused people. I have mentally abused people. I haven't stolen from people. I haven't lied to people in ways that, oh my God, I want to manipulate you into doing something or believing something so that I can benefit from it. The lies that I have said have been inaccuracies, like, oh, yesterday is when I busted my back. No, it was actually 8 days ago. Something like that. Little ass inaccuracies like that. But like a flat out, complete, absolute lie, it's not something I do. Some people just like to look at a content creator and be like, this person for right now, they're representing themselves perfectly and well. And you forget that we're human. But the moment a content creator does something that, oh my God, it's a mistake, or this person messed up, this person got fired, this person, like, what the fuck did you think? They're peopling in a different way. But you forget that. And I hate that sometimes people try to find ways to find problems with what I'm saying and want me to see it as a problem too with my character. I'm like, no. I already know who and what I am. I know what my flaws are. I know what I do well, and I know what I don't do so well. The difference is that I'm able to sit here and show it to you and allow you to have something to say about it. That's why I'm impossible to offend. If I couldn't handle that, I wouldn't do this. See what I mean? So that's why I will always tell people who say, I just found you, I just subscribed to you. I'm like, well, thank you so much. I'm flattered, but be prepared to run into A, B, C, and D. I may not be the perfect person for you to listen to. I may not be good for your health. I may not be good for your sanity. I may not be good for your mental stability. because I don't have a filter. But some people will see me and they may value that because they're like, you know what? You're different. The way that you present things are things that I would have never considered. Just in the same way that I tell some of you guys in the comments, oh my God, I never thought about that before. This is what this is about. I know that I'm very, because I don't go out there and talk a lot, I know that I have the potential of being trapped in my own mind. In a sense, this helps me be like, what about my mind is right and what isn't? And that's why I can sit here and confidently say, I know what I am and who I am. And no, I'm not trying to prove to you that I'm an angel and that I'm perfect. You should know that by now. But if you just arrived at my channel, if you haven't known me for years, like some of you guys have, then of course I don't expect you to know that right off the bat. But yeah, just stop trying to make internet people be your models. Models of virtue, models of politics, models of ethics. Nobody out there will cater to you 100%. So the moment they fuck up, why do you get mad? There's people who I follow, people I am subscribed to, that to me, they fuck up all the goddamn time. But I continue to follow them because I'm like, okay, the information that they present, I have to pick it apart. It may be partially good for me, it may not be. So for everybody who subscribes and ends up changing their mind, or they unsubscribe because they get offended, okay, congrats. I fed you up already. Goodbye, good riddance. Leave. In the same manner you found me, you can leave, but I'm not going to beg you to stay. And I'm not afraid of that hindering my ability to grow. I started this without the intention of growing. And some people look at this only through dollar signs and as a business. And that's why you cannot fathom someone like me just being chill. I'm like, no, like, I don't care about growing. I don't do this for the fame. I don't do this to be popular. I don't do this to get paid. But the opportunity is there and it exists. So I like to celebrate people's generosity by allowing you to do so. But this, to me, I'm fine if it works for me and I'm fine if it doesn't. But you all are so accustomed to seeing other people turning this into a dream that you can't fathom someone describing themselves in this way. And it's something that I take great pride in because some people describe consistency as impossible. And I'm like, I think I've remained pretty consistent. I had a top live stream, which is called What Is It Like to Be You? With 40 comments. And then there's so much more to celebrate. 4 years in the YouTube Partner Program. We appreciate your partnership and look forward to seeing where you will go from here. And that's a wrap on a great year. Celebrate all of your achievements this past year and thank your fans on Shorts with hashtag my year on YouTube 2023. We can't wait to see what you'll do in 2024. These insights were taken from aggregated data from YouTube between January 1st, 2023 and November the 30th, 2023. I'm not going to create that short with this kind of thing because I don't like YouTube to tell me what to do. So this is it. I know that I went off on a tangent there and I tend to I'm not even kind to you guys. Do you guys like getting abuse from me? Because sometimes I am a little shocked when people describe me as me being a nice person. I'm like, you don't know me. But in all seriousness, you guys who have been present and have been active on my channel for all this time, I want to thank you because I have learned a lot from you guys. The ideas that you have submitted, the topics we have discussed, the words that you have defined for me, the languages that you have told me that you speak, and I have been exploring a little bit the places you come from, stuff like that. It's been fun, and I like that it's doing what I always wrote into my journal that I wish it did. Back in 2012 or 2013, I remember very vividly an entry that I wrote like at 2 a.m. and I was like, if there's only one thing I wish my journal could do is if I write hashtag, I wish that what I'm writing just automatically transferred onto the computer and anyone who has thoughts resembling this found me. Because I used to be so extremely, severely, unhealthily lonely back then. And I find that had I begun the channel back then, like actually uploading this type of thing back then, maybe my story would have turned out a little different. Because back then I was diving more into the sources of the stuff that led up to those more sentimental topics. Say that living without a family video, that video would have looked a whole lot different, because at that time I was processing the things that were leading up to me opening up about that. But it was in a much darker kind of way. But I'm glad that stuff happened the way that it happened, because by the time that I started the channel, I feel like I had developed the maturity that I needed to be able to manage this positively. And even though this is far from a big channel, far from popular, please guys, don't make me popular, I beg you. At least I can say that it hasn't affected me in a negative way. And that makes me proud, because I feel like I can say that that feels to me like I'm handling this right. And it's healthy for me. Whereas some people, unfortunately, they have stories of how the channel, their social media was giving them anxiety, and I'm like, I cannot say that social media has ever given me anxiety. And the only time it might have is when I was trying to genuinely explain something to someone, but they still didn't get it. And then at that point is when someone taught me the art of recognizing what a troll is, which is all about getting a reaction out of you. And you guys know that I very often express how I don't entertain people. So if you're saying something kind of stupid, in my eyes, I may treat you like you're stupid. I'm sorry, don't be offended. And I know that I'm stupid a lot of the times. And when I become stupid, I'm doing that on purpose. I want to open the door to you to treat me like you would treat a stupid person. If I'm giving you the material to attack me for being stupid, then you have earned the right to treat me like I'm stupid. But if I notice you on my comment section continuously being that way when it isn't really warranted, then that's when the interaction from me may be a little different. So hopefully that made sense for you guys. I don't expect any of you to really sit until the very end of this video, but that's the whole point. I want to make this the video where I ramble about the status of the channel, the performance, and while I'm at it, also thank you guys, even though I would hope by now you feel appreciated, because on most of my comments and most of my videos, I like to end it with thank you so much for tuning in, because you took time of your day to have me in the background, or to listen to me, hear me out, or even interact with me. And I think that's very special. A lot of us are in here being introverts, and I know what it's like to summon that bravery as an introvert to say something to someone. So from that perspective, I cannot criticize computers or the internet too negatively. Well, that's it for me, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you soon.